Let me start off this video by telling you the most important thing you need to know about your resume. It's not about where you are now, it's about where you are going. Your resume is a marketing document that is meant to showcase the value that you have to offer to a potential employer. And so you are meant to align your skills, your qualifications, your experience with the need of the employer. They have a need. That's why they're hiring. They are trying to start a new project, or they are trying to increase revenue. Whatever that need may be, your goal is to do your research to understand what it is, read the job poster, get a good understanding of why they are looking to hire someone in that role, and align what you have to offer with the need that the employer currently has. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 tips on how you can do that successfully to create a resume that stands out from the crowd. My name is Lisa Appiah. I'm a certified career and resume strategist and the founder of We Apply. And let's get right into it. The first thing you have to do when it comes to developing your resume is having a clear employment target, meaning that you need to know exactly what type of role you are applying for, in what industry, as well as the specific employers that you may be targeting for the position. And so the 3 areas that you have to focus on: what is the industry you're looking into, the employers. You can create a list of 10 to 15 employers that you are targeting, as well as the specific roles and responsibilities. The more specific you are in terms of your job search and in developing your resume, the easier it's going to be for you to navigate and to find exactly what you are looking for. So it's important that before you even start the process of formatting your resume or making any changes to the document, you need to know what exactly it is that the second thing you need to know is having a clear summary of qualifications at the very beginning of your resume. In the past, it was very normal to have an objective statement that said something like, I'm applying for this role for this reason. I'd like to improve my career or broaden my skills. So that is no longer common practice nowadays. We no longer use objective statements. That summary at the top of your resume is very important because it is your opportunity to showcase what it is that you have to offer to the employer. It's a brief summary, just a few lines that can outline your branding, that can give them a snapshot of what you've been able to achieve. So you can include numbers in there. You can include significant achievements that are worth mentioning. Why this part of your resume is important is just think of yourself. When you open a Word document, for example, the first thing that you see is about the first half of that page. So think about anyone, a recruiter, hiring manager, opening your resume. That is what they're looking at first. And so you want to make sure that the information that is there is going to cause them to want to read further. We've all seen the statistics that employers, hiring managers, or recruiters only look at resumes for 6 seconds, or some studies have said 13 seconds. That's normal. You do that as well. When you are going to read a book or you're going to read an article, you skim and you scan through it and you decide, hey, is this even worth my time? Should I get into it more? Or you start looking at it and you decide, no, I'm not actually going to read this. So that's basically what they do. They look at the resume that they've received and they scan through it very quickly. And a lot of times, at least this is what I do myself as a hiring manager, reading that summary of qualifications and deciding, is this worth my time to keep reading? And so I am sharing with you here 2 examples of how you can write your summary of qualifications so that you can get inspired in creating your own. The next thing that you want to do when you're creating your resume is it has to be clear what kind of position you're applying for. An easy way to do that is by including the job title of the position you're applying for at the very top of your resume. And this is very helpful so that the person can know the position you're targeting. And it also helps as well with the applicant tracking system. But also, beyond having that title there, your resume needs to convey right away when a person looks at it or opens it that you're applying for a marketing position or you're applying for the position as human resource manager. It shouldn't take someone a lot of time to figure out what kind of position you're applying for. And so again, that top half of your resume is very important to convey that message that this is the kind of position I'm applying for, and this is what I have to offer, and this is what I'm bringing to the table to this role. The other thing that you want to keep in mind to create a resume that stands out is that you want to focus on accomplishments. And basically you want to be able to speak not only of the task that you've held in the various positions that you've had, that you did that and this and this. You want to go a step deeper and look at the various responsibilities that you've held and look at what were the results. What were you able to achieve for the company? And then take a step even deeper and think, what impact did that make for the organization? So by taking that step even deeper, you're starting to think a little bit more strategically, looking at how your work, how the day-to-day work that you're doing is impacting the organization and them being able to achieve their overall corporate goals. And that's what will help you stand out as a candidate. Someone who's able to look at the bigger picture, not only focusing on what you're doing as an individual contributor, but how does this impact the organization as a whole? And especially as you're moving up into more senior roles. So if you're applying for a role as a manager or an executive, this is what's going to stand out. You being able to be strategic, no longer focusing solely on what you're doing on a day-to-day, but looking at the impact on the organization as a whole. How has this been able to change the company that I work for? And this is how you want to create your bullets points in your resume. Every bullet point should speak to an accomplishment that you've had in that role. But you always want to make sure that these accomplishments are aligned with the position that you're applying for. Ultimately, what you're showing is that your past experience and your past accomplishments are an indicator of what you would be able to bring to the table in this new role. And the last thing that you want to do is pay attention to keywords and key phrases in your resume. You want to make sure that you're sprinkling them around without trying to cheat the system, but basically ensuring that the keywords from the job poster are found in your resume. Whether you decide to include a skill section, you can do it that way. But even throughout your accomplishments and throughout the text in your resume, making sure that you are speaking to the language that that employer is using. You want to make sure that there is a connection between the job poster and how you're presenting your information on the resume. And these keywords really connect to your core competencies. It speaks to what you have to offer. And so once you've done the job of narrowing down what your employment target is, it will make it a lot easier for you to know the appropriate keywords to have in your resume so that they resonate with the kind of roles that you're applying for. And last tip is that your resume is a snapshot of your career. It's a targeted marketing document that will speak to the last 10 to 15 years of your career experience. And so you don't need to lay out your whole career history. What you want to be able to do ultimately is look at your career stories, look at your background, and pull out the most relevant information that speaks to the value that you have to offer. I have another video that talks about 8 common resume writing mistakes. I encourage you to click right here and watch that video because it'll give you some insight as to how to craft a resume that really stands out from the crowd and avoid common mistakes that people tend to make on their resumes. So thanks for tuning in and take care.